day, and thank you for joining us on the Midday Show live on Echo Television International. Of course, we always tell you about different countries, what they do, what they eat, and their activities. I hope you are excited to join us today. Have you heard about a country filled with friendly, hospitable, curious, respectful, and resilient people, also known for their tall statures? Then sit back, relax, and then hear more about the South Sudan people. We have a lot to tell you about them. I hope you have fun with us today. As usual, I have Tony in the studio with me. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Linda, for having me.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good. How are you too?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is the economy treating you? Are you looking up to traveling to South Sudan?
Should I say the truth?
Please do. No.
Why did you just say for me to
Because
say?
I know, right from time you've been like I know you've been going back and forth as regards this country.
Okay. Don't get me wrong, yeah.
Okay,
I love
let
the
it out, let it
Sudanese
out.
like very well. Like I love them because they are respectful people. They're friendly. They're hospitable. They're curious about knowing you as a visitor and what you want to do in the country and what they stand to gain and all of that. But then when it comes to there's just something about it
What is that something? That's something. That's
no,
what I want to know.
it's best known to me. It's best known to me. Let's not just.
Can I guess?
Why?
Can I guess? Just give me the
Let's see.
opportunity
Give
of
it a
guessing.
try.
All right. I'm not saying this from the position of me saying you are short, but it is true.
Wow, no, I take an exception to that.
Let me finish what I want to say.
Don't even say
Let me
it.
finish what
Don't even, thank you very much. Like, thank you very much. I'm sure, Tony, you don't want to leave this set right now. Wow.
You should have allowed me to make my
Don't even
point.
say it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
What do you mean by that? Anyways, I know that the Sudanese people, they are very tall. I don't have a problem
Which is
with
the
that.
opposite of her.
Excuse
Which is
me.
why she don't like the country. Because she knows she's going to be here, like she's going to be on the knee.
Wow. Anyways, no problem. I accept it. But there's something I was saying, like today, I was shocked today. Like someone told me, said, why is it that don't we have something, maybe drug or something that can make people tall and all of that? And I was like,
okay,
wow.
okay. Let me help you out.
You don't
Just
need
in
to
case.
help me out. Are
No,
you
just
God?
want to-
I
just
am
want to- wait now.
wonderfully, fearfully made.
I'm not arguing
And I am the
about
apple of God's
how
eyes.
beautifully you are made. What I'm trying to say is, just in case you want to, like, probably have the intention of growing taller, I think South Sudan is the best place for you to go. And you know why? Do you know why? Answer me now. Answer me now.
Why?
The thing is, the major thing that the major thing that makes them that tall, like the way they are, is the milk, the constant milk they take from cows.
So you think when I go now, that's
So if you, by the time you take like fresh
do you
milk
know they're
without any
187.6 centimeters?
of what?
Their height.
Yes, now it is the constant milk.
187.6.
You drink milk directly from the horse's breast.
Can you see
I say
human
horses,
beings?
so cows.
What of cow?
Normal cow
Normal
that you see.
cow.
Yes. You drink every day, and before you know it, Linda will be as tall as whatsoever.
I
I
don't
don't know.
want.
What's your height?
What's your business?
Let's know.
Wait, are you here to stroke me or
I'm
to
not
attack
stroking
me? What's
you, I'm
up?
just
Like, I don't
asking
understand. We're
you.
talking about South Sudan, we're talking about Linda. Please, I want to understand. You will leave this set.
Alright.
I think I need to invite someone else to come and have this show. What do you mean?
Sure, people are they are always close to anger, so I can't understand.
Anyways, I am happy that you're doing this to me because I will pay you back. You see, not today, but don't worry.
Viewers, this is the reason why she don't like Samsung.
I did not tell you that, my listener.
Because it's going to be
It's
obvious
a
by the time
lie.
she
It's
stands.
a lie. Excuse
Alright,
me.
okay.
No, but wait. So are you happy now that you're doing this?
You know,
to
I'm
me?
just
Like, no, are
stating the
you
obvious.
happy?
You know, when you state the obvious, it becomes very bitter for
No
someone
problem.
to actually
My
admit.
God, the God that I serve is a living
Don't they
God.
bring God to innocent
Yes,
matter now?
and then he said, whatever it's easy you have, you give thanks to him. So I thank God for me.
For your height?
I thank God.
For your 5.2?
Wow, Oshe, you that you're 187, I can see. Even if you find yourself in South Sudan, you will still be.
Yeah, I know.
So why is my own a problem?
No, I'm just
Why
saying
is
the
it an
difference
issue?
is going to be huge.
Excuse
like,
you, your own the difference is going to be so glaring, like it's going to be clear. What do you mean? Crystal clear.
Let's
please.
dive into what we are.
Wow, the people of
about
South
to talk
Sudan are
about.
respectful people. Oh Lord, the fact that
Calm
There's
down.
something about them. Tony, like, I'm really thinking about this thing you said to me, but my God, the God I serve is a living
But what
God.
did I say? Come to think of it, what did I
Tony, but I
actually
don't
say?
understand. Why are you
I was
trying
only trying to
to?
state the obvious that maybe
What
that's
obvious? Who
why.
is asking you? Who is begging you? Did
Should
I
I ask?
ask
I said,
you?
should I
Did I
guess? You say
ask you?
yes.
And
Ask
then
for your
you
permission.
guessed wrongly, sir.
So you should have just said it.
Talking about shopping in South Sudan, let's divert a little. They said
Okay.
you can shop most especially, let's say they have market days,
What's
and
that?
then
What's that?
the capital of South Sudan, which is the
The Juba.
Dinka,
The Juba. The Juba.
Juba,
Juba. Yeah.
you find yourself in that place. They have a particular day, like a specific day that is being set aside for their market, and then you realize that when you find yourself in that market, like you can buy anything you want to buy.
So long
When I
there's
say
cash
I'm not
with
so
you.
so long you have cash, I'm not saying anything based on just any you just go think you want to
And
buy human
basically,
parts. No way.
if you are going to a market as such as that, please try as much as possible not to really be dependent on your credit card,
True,
because
because
they really don't have POS machines and maybe ATM. I think the only places they have all of those things are the
the
capital city, which
bank.
is Juba, and then some other larger towns. But then, see, any local markets and stuff, you have to be with your their local cash, which is the Sudanese what's it called, pound,
Um,
of which you would get to spend and then pay whatever thing you'll be buying for. So instead of you to be left or seen stranded in situations like that, try as much as possible to have enough cash with you so that you'll be able to buy every other thing you want to get. But then you should be rest assured there are a lot of cultural things you would come in contact with, like their fabrics, which is very colorful. There are artifacts. There are food, cultural food, like a lot of things that you are going to get to see and want to buy and then see how it's being used. And aside from the fact that they are friendly, they are always curious to know your own culture and as well compare the culture
there's
to theirs with yours. And then because they're already Africans, yeah, but then they would also want to know how things are being done over there in your country. And then by the time you say all of those things to them, they would go forth by telling you how theirs differs from yours, and then from there conversation will start, and then the friendly act of them becomes so easy for you to get in contact with them even more immensely and all of those things.
it's in their tradition to welcome you to their homes
Very,
and
very
serve
well.
you food.
They
Like
don't they don't
it
see
is
they
in
don't see
their
their
culture.
height intimidating,
Yes,
because
like they
I was
don't.
watching a video clip. I think one Ghanaian went over to the country and he was like, like what advantage is this height for you? He said, well, I think the major thing is by the time there are a lot of crowds, like you stand out to see
Stand
whatever
out
thing that is
ahead.
being done ahead, or probably if you want to do something or repair something on the roof, you
We
don't
will
have to
climb
necessarily
Iroko tree and
you
see
don't have to
it.
necessarily use maybe stool or whatever to help your
Yeah,
height and
to
stuff,
see.
or maybe you want to climb something. And then the guy was like, okay, one other thing that is important is that our heights, we use our heights to intimidate the short people. And the guy took offense by that. I
You
was
see,
like, oh,
God is
really?
wonderful. You understand? Like when you say God is wonderful, like you just realize that you just see someone, you just see the difference. One is
Like,
very tall, one is short, one is fine, one is ugly. And then he said he makes everything in his own image and
true, true,
likeness. So
true.
then you understand that okay, fine. The fact that it's not really okay, let's say it's intimidating because I know
When you
of
see
the
tall
fact that
person,
of course
when
when
you
you
see
see
tall
a
people,
very tall, like let's not say tall now, let's say long.
yeah,
Because
it's true. They are
do you
not tall. They're
understand?
actually
They're
long.
long. Do you
True.
understand? Because so a human being
They're
that
as
is
long as 9 feet. Oh,
187, do you understand?
wow,
So then the thing is, God is wonderful actually. So
most
then
def.
that these are the people of South Sudan, and then to think they don't even use that to intimidate you, rather they will even help you. Somebody like me, if I meet someone that's very, I can just help you, send me to pass that thing that's on there. Then I don't even need to stress myself. Do you understand? And then they fond of it and all of that. Like these people are friendly. When you talk about being friendly, when you talk about asking a lot of questions to know your kind of person, to know what you do, and then to know your likes and dislikes and all of that. Like they tend to involve you, to engage you in a lot of things about them, and then they want to tell you more about them. So that is why they're curious in knowing about your own culture, to know about the things you do, so they can actually compare it. I agree with that part because when you see a Sudanese, he tries to bring you close to him, and he said it's in their culture, it's in their tradition to give you food to eat, because it's more like it's a taboo if you find yourself in their homes and they don't offer you anything to eat.
True.
So then they make sure they give you something to eat, they make sure they offer you something that's going to make you feel relaxed, welcome, and all of that. You just feel at home because they don't just show you that you are not a part of them. That's one thing about them. That was why I was saying, okay, I love the fact that they welcome you and then they give you food, they make you feel very comfortable, they let you do business with them, they let you do a lot of things with them. them, and they make you feel very comfortable. It's very difficult in some parts of the world today
True.
for someone to just welcome you in his country and then try to make you feel very comfortable. Some people will be like, what are you even doing in my country? You're not welcome because I know there are countries that when you find yourself, you will not even want to stay for more than a day or
Because
two.
of how welcomed you are.
Do you understand? So then the Sudanese are actually beautiful
Sorry,
people.
unwelcomed you are rather.
They actually make you feel very comfortable. And then when you talk about their language, of course they speak English, and then other languages, of course
They
you
have
cannot just stay.
Dinka, they have Norel, they have Shiloks, and a lot
Okay,
of
you go
many
tell us
many
all.
other tribes. And then I think Dinka is one of the major tribes in the country, and it is Dinka that have more of the tallest people. And one advantage of that tallness is that as a girl, as a woman, if you happen to be tall, like the amount of your height is what amounts to the number of cows that you give your family when you are getting married. I believe you saw that video clip. Was it video clip or that news I told you about of one girl that got married in South Sudan that was tall, but then the amount of money that was paid as bride price and stuff. Like, according to what I heard, as a tall girl who is about to get married, like you can attract about 500 cows or even more than, even 1,000 cows, even more than. So it has to do with height for you to have an amount of cows being given to you as a bride price and all of that. So they see height in women or in ladies as wealth coming into their family. So if you're a tall girl in South Sudan, you should know that. I'm sorry, if you are a tall girl in any other country and then you feel your height is being wasteful, please go to South Sudan and then get married and get plenty of cows, get plenty of cows and all of that. But then it's so interesting to know that height is a big deal for them, and then it's something that happens to be a common thing for them because virtually everybody there is tall. But then it doesn't mean that they don't have short persons there. But I think the shortest of the height there is say maybe 6.7.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5.7 rather. Anything less than that, I don't think you will see that height there.
So it means if you're
it's genetic.
And you're not, if you find yourself in that place, you just see the difference.
It's going to be obvious now. You know that you are a visitor. So and they are black. They are extremely black. The hair on their head, like the darkness of the hair on their hair is the same of the body and the face. Like they are that dark.
They are special people.
Well, though, that's what makes them original.
That's why
and
I said God is
too.
wonderful because He makes us different.
That makes them original and authentic.
Image. Just imagine the billions of people, and then we are being made in God's image.
True.
So then it means God is just everything.
He's wonderful.
He's everything. He's wonderful. So that is good to know that. And then we have things to consider while visiting Juba and South Sudan. Juba, which is the capital of South Sudan, we have expensive travel. Wow, traveling to South Sudan is expensive. Within South Sudan is expensive compared to neighboring countries. It is mainly because of the scarcity of basic commodities. It is important to travel with enough physical cash. Of course, that we're talking about not using your ATM card. So then, some people will tell you they can't just travel with cash and all of that. But then there are particular countries in which you're traveling, you just need. You don't have a choice than to go with that. So then people, if you want to travel to South Sudan, please make sure you make research. That's why we always talk about research about the particular country that you've never been to, so that you know the things to do, the things not to do, and the things to carry along with you while traveling. So you know that you have access to a lot of things. There are countries that you travel, they'll tell you when they find just a stick of cigarettes in your body, they know how much you're going to pay. They'll fine you a lot. They put a lot of money on that. They'll just maybe you find yourself in prison and all of that. Stuff. Yes. So then we just need to be careful with a lot of things that we do and consider the possibility of being in a country and the things that we're able to do and avoid in particular country.
Yeah, we have the fact that they're actually friendly people. But before then, one thing about the country is that you don't really make use of taxis as such. I think they make use of bikes instead, so that you'll be able to go through some of the local places instead of being limited to places that the cars can go to. So instead of you getting taxis, like it's best and advisable that you get bikes instead, because some of their roads are actually bad, and then for the fact that it's not every place in some of those local areas that cars can go through and all of that, so you'll be restricted and be limited to some certain areas of which if only you have bikes you can be very easy for you to access and all that. Then aside that, we have the friendly people that are actually friendly people, and then despite the decades of civil wars and less contact with foreigners, South Sudanese are generally friendly and they are kind and welcoming to the outsiders. And you can use this friendliness to foreigners as an opportunity to learn about the country and then internal dynamics without coming across as too being inquisitive. Like you can ask a lot of questions, you can ask how things are being done there. And I think there was one thing I saw there for those that actually rear cattle because there is one particular tribe. It's, I think something Mon. I've forgotten the name anyway. But this tribe basically they rear cows. That's their occupation. That's what they do. So those are rare cow. Like they see it as a tradition that milk is one constant thing that you keep drinking, and then their urine, the urine of the cows, is what they beat, is what they use in washing their face, is what they use in washing their hair. Like there are a lot of things they use the urine of cows to do. Some even see it as a medicinal for either diseases and stuff. And one thing about the cows is that's their major wealth. That is, if maybe you want to go to school or maybe you have issues of say health and stuff, all they do is just carry one of the cows and sell, and then they get cash and do or sort out whatever bills they want to sort out. So that's just basically what they do. And if you go there as a foreigner, they wouldn't mind to telling you all of these things just for you to know more.
They don't have a problem in holding information about them and all of that. Like they're just free like that.
They're
like,
extremely free. They are free. They're happy. They won't use their height to intimidate people like Linda because of the fact that
you will not. It's okay. I've had enough of it. You will leave this set.
It's
like you don't want to finish the show in peace, right? No, it's like you don't want to finish it in peace. Let me not change it.
Why
you want to
why are you taking this fast now?
Like I don't understand why you're attacking me.
You are short. That you are fine like that. Why is this?
I'm not short. I'm sorry. If you see short people, you will know they are short. But for me, I am not. Please, at least I'm taller than a lot of people. What do you mean by that? I'm short. Is it you that made me? Abi, are you God? What do you mean? See the fact that you see that you're just a bit taller, like just small, like doesn't mean you should be taller than people. Are you God?
It's not that deep.
Please excuse me. The climate. South Sudan has a tropical climate with periods of heavy rainfall, followed by dry spells. Some parts of the country you see more of the rain and heat, but generally the rainy season occurs in the months of April to October. Areas in higher altitude receive more rainfall compared to the flatter zones. It is also important to note that because of the proximity of the equator, the days and nights are of the same length. Wow.
Nice. I think it's the same with some of our African countries where the weakness like rain for April to October and then everything becomes dry and all. So I think this is naturally the best time to travel.
Yeah,
but then the best time is travel. To
travel like
considering the country experiences both wet and dry months, it's just best you travel during the dry season because the country is still developing. As a matter of fact, I think they gained their independence very late, just 2011 here. So there are a lot of infrastructure development that is still ongoing. So their roads are not that really effective or that good and stuff. So because of that, during rainy season, you are prone not to gain access to some certain places because of bad roads, mud, flood, like a lot of reasons why you will not be able to get through some certain local villages and all. But during dry season, you can, do whatever or go to whatever places you can or probably you wish to go to. But then during dry season, you should try as much as possible if really you have the need and intention of traveling to South Sudan. This time or those time of the month or of the year are the best time for you to travel.
Yeah, we have taken of photos. They said as innocent as it may look. They said local authorities and the army in particular will not tolerate you when you take photos in public buildings.
They don't like it.
Like they don't like it. Like okay, fine. I don't understand. They don't like it. The fact that you're a visitor and then you find yourself you want to snap pictures. Like you just want to have the memories. Do you know when I tried?
I tried to check for pictures for that Juba, but then I couldn't. That is, they are being strict
about letting their images out and all of that. Especially when you are in Juba, which is the capital, and then it's arguable the strictest public policy about taking photos said you could even be arrested or you go to prison if caught taking photos without permission and a government official to accompany you. Wow. So you avoid taking pictures in national buildings or military establishments. A local guide can help you get the required permission. As you get outside the capital, you can take as many photos as you wish. So it means if you want to snap, you just need to get a permission. Like this guy learner's permit that they will give, so you need permission.
It's not even everywhere.
Like it's not everywhere. Actually, there are government buildings and all of that. So then it's good to. That's why I said it's good for you to make research about particular
Don't
country,
just go to
so you
place
know the things to
without
do.
not having the
Someone like
information
you and I that
verification.
love to snap pictures and all of
The
that, then when
moment
you
we see
find
a very
yourself,
fine place like this, click,
you want,
you've
do you
done it.
understand? Then they'll end up arresting you, and then you realize you're even spending the whole of your day, or like maybe some days in prison and
Unnecessary,
all of that.
unnecessary
So
cash
then
you
it's
too.
really unnecessary for you to do things out of the rules and regulation of
True,
people who set it,
true.
because they have a reason to set such rules and all of that. So then for you to respect the fact that they've set all these rules, so you need to just accept it and then work with what they do and what they want. Like, it's just very obvious that when they tell you these things are not, they're not to be done in particular places,
You
you
adhere to
accept it
it.
and then
Adhere to
just
it.
do it in order to have peace, because they are peaceful people. When it comes to having an interaction with someone, they tend to make you feel very comfortable. So why wouldn't you just make them feel comfortable and then not make you sad by
True.
taking you to prison, or rather making you feel like, no, you're a wanted criminal and all of that. Anyways, we said a little about South Sudan, so I think we need to just have a little time out so we can just digest it, and then we bring in other
Dive
people who will
back.
join us. Viewers, we're going to take a time out now to just relax and then come back again to tell you more about South Sudan. I hope you don't touch that down. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us again. If you are just joining us, it's the Midday Show live on Echo Television International. We're talking about South Sudan. I still have Tony in the studio with me. Welcome
True
back,
that,
Tony.
true that. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't
Please,
chase
there's
me
something
out.
I can do about
You
it.
can't
After
chase
today,
me
you're
out.
not on
You
this show
can't-
with me
you
again. I'm
can't
looking for
chase me
someone
out of
else.
this show.
I don't need you anymore.
Let's talk about the basic etiquette, Ojiri. They say you should not pass gestures. I mean, do not gesture or pass things with left hands. Or probably just rather use your both hands to pass anything and all of that, because
More
they
like
see,
you can
yeah,
have
or
it.
you don't do. Or, which one is
Yeah.
left? Is it this one or that?
Okay, you don't even know your left and your right. You know, like up to now, like when I was I'm just like, okay,
Sometimes,
this
which
is
one
my,
is
okay,
yeah,
okay, this
sometimes
is
it
my
happens
right.
to
Yeah, of
me.
course, it happens.
So in a country where you're not sure, who could just use your two? Use your
It's
two
better
hands.
for you to just help
better.
yourself through.
Then it is considered extremely offensive to insult another, which is
Of course,
a
it is
common thing.
everywhere.
It's a
Of course,
moral
we're
thing.
Africans.
Yeah, and then South Sudanese may believe that it can even bring about a curse upon your life. So for you to, avert that, try as possible to be all respectful and don't see a need to insult any elder.
Then people may kneel down to greet you or serve people of higher status, and then children may kneel to parents, and elders and wives may kneel to husbands and all of that. And when I said they are respectful, what were you thinking? Like, they are respectful
Africans,
people,
of
so
course,
like
so
they
we
are,
are
so like
respectful,
they follow
true.
the hierarchy and all of that. So then they don't just take things for granted. They know this is what is supposed to be done, so they do it like the way it's supposed to be. Like, they don't have an issue with it. And then visiting, so social visiting and hosting has a great importance for building and mending relations among friends and family members. As I said, like, they are friendly people, so of course you can't find two people in the same family having issues. I know that is something that is inevitable, but then they understand each other to the level that they know, okay, this is what is going to hurt you, so I avoid it. This is what's going to make you happy, so I do it to make you happy and put a smile on your face.
True.
And then he said the Sudanese can find it insulting if a person does not visit them for a long period of time. Wow. So then it means if you more like you're a friend to someone there, like you don't have a choice, you have to just be visiting, so you keep the friendship intact and all of that. Then in South Sudan, people may visit without invitation or notice, especially children. However, if the visit is going to extend over a couple of days, people make arrangements in advance.
True. It's good. It's a very good thing though. Then it's actually a good gesture to bring a small gift when you visit. You also bring gifts for any children that live at the household or within the household, and then remove your shoes before entering someone else's house. Then it is customary to greet the man of the house before people present. So it is actually very customary to greet people, whether the elderly ones or whatsoever. Now, as much as you're entering someone else's house, I feel it's very, very important that you greet the person so that the person will not feel disrespected and all of that. And then after that, I think it is considered rude to refuse such refreshment, and by doing so, you will be perceived as a direct insult to the host. That is, when you go to anybody's house or probably someone else's house, it's best you take or you eat whatever thing you have been presented with as a gift or whatsoever, so that the person will not feel insulted, or the person will not feel like you really do not like or love him like you are supposed to. So they see that as a way of acceptance, that you are accepting them, you're accepting their food, you're accepting their cultures and the likes of it.
So we have tourist attractions in Juba and South Sudan. Then we have the Boma National Park. It's the largest national parks in Africa. Wow. And then it covers an area of 22,800 square kilometers and is found in Junel State, close to the border with Ethiopia. Between March to April and November to January, one of the world's greatest worldwide immigration occurs in the park. So about 2 million animals, including cobs, gazelle, and other antelope species, move from the Swords and Bandigilo National Park to Boma National Park and then to Ethiopia and all of that. The animal movement is dictated by the coming rains during all and all. Like, okay, fine, this is like the the largest national park in Africa.
Wow.
So then they have most, in fact, millions of animals and all of that in this particular place. So then if you want to see any animal or you have anything to do with when you talk about visiting a national park, visiting somewhere, like you just want to distract yourself from a lot of things, like you just want to
You
have
go
fun
to
and all
places
that,
like that
just
and have yourself
find yourself
refreshed.
in Boma National Park and then everything is done.
Then we have the Bandigilo National Park, and this national park is actually found in the region of the South Sudan and remains relatively undiscovered by tourists. And it was established in 1992 and occupies an area slightly above 10,000 square kilometers. And it's actually one of the most important national parks in South Sudan because it attracts the great wildlife migration. The park has, and that's actually the most incredible body diversity, and it's home to giraffes, lions, leopards, and elephants, reed bucks. And then you should also know that going there would as well amount you to seeing many other things that are actually not here, because it's not just ideal for you to know everything in a place like this until you visit and see for yourself. So it's actually a very nice place. But then the fact that it's actually undiscovered by many tourists, I think it's a mystery for me, because places like these are places that tourists should, explore and to, put out there for people to know the importance, the significance, and then what happens within this particular region of the world. So to me, it's actually a great place it's actually a great place and a place that is worthy of visit.
Yeah, we have the Nimule National Park. They said the Nimule National Park is relatively well developed because it is closer to the capital and is home to leopards, baboons, zebras, warthogs, and several species of antelopes. The park has an office, and rangers can be assigned to take you for a tour of the park or by boat or an island where you can see large herds of elephants, leopards, and new predators. Other animals in the park include hippos, zebras, crocodiles, bush bugs, baboons, jackals. Like most of the animals, like if you plan to visit Kenya in the near future, you might find the article about where to hang out in Nairobi and all of that. Okay, if you find yourself visiting South Sudan, then this is one of the parks that you should find yourself, because you want to see a lot of animals. You just want
True.
to know, okay, fine, this animal is like, you can just tell yourself, I've seen this life and all of that. And we'll be talking about food,
Which is the most important thing.
which is the most important thing, I know. We have
Very,
the
very important.
the tomato salad. It said it is a basic salad specializing in tomato, onion, and chili. The best ones are served with peanut butter and salt dressing. It is a simple, quick, and delicious dish, especially for spicy lovers, but it can be perfectly adapted to the rest. In a very short time, we have an excellent appetizer, dinner, or side dish for two. A few slices of the good bread by your side and enjoy. This looks inviting, actually.
I think this is one of the things that make them this black and then refreshed too. Then we have the tamia. The tamia is like a falafel, but then made from a different type of legume, and it is sold in bags everywhere. And then they are fried snacks made with chickpeas, and then therefore full of protein. Like I feel this is inviting already
Yeah,
because of the
this
fact that
just look at it.
I think we call it pesque.
How is it pesque?
Do I know? It's I don't know, but
This looks like
it's look
potato balls.
okay. Really?
Yeah.
I think it's something that looks so familiar. Like something that I think I
Looks like
know.
cookies
Yeah,
or
kind
something like
of.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. It's true.
Anyways, it's inviting though. We have the goat stew. Said it is traditionally cooked with a kid goat. Wow, a young goat. Nevertheless, since this meat can be quite difficult to find nowadays, it is usually replaced by chicken. So let's say chicken stew, and
Do
then
they even
lamb
have
or
goats there?
veal. They don't. They said goat. Okay, okay, it's difficult to find, so they replaced it with
I think
chicken. So
the
it's
major meat they have there should be beef. And funny enough, you know, even with the large amount of cattle that they rear or that they actually take care of and stuff, they hardly eat them.
yeah.
Like they hardly eat
Do you
them
know what
because
it means for a cattle rearer to eat his own cattle?
but I feel for you to have surplus cows like that, meat shouldn't be a
This
problem for
is very
you.
inviting. Like
Meat shouldn't
this
be
is,
beef shouldn't be an issue for you.
of course, it
And you know,
shouldn't
because
be.
of
Sure.
that fact that they don't like eating cows or they don't like eating beef, they don't eat afternoon food. They only eat morning and
Morning and
night.
night.
Believe
So
in me.
breakfast and dinner, no more lunch.
Mm.
Anyways,
So we have perch. Then perch is actually a fish. Means a fish whose flavor goes perfectly with a number of sauces and garnishes. And then so both with peppers and then a tasty green sauce that can be suitable as an as a companion to so many other sauce food and stuff. And then typical typical of African cuisine, perch is cut into small squares and then roasted in the oven with a garnish of tomato, onions, eggplant, and then olives and coconut. Like there are a lot of things that can go alongside with this perch. Be it is it goat stew you want to eat with it? Is it fish? Like everything you can combine all of
this is
these things as a food
salad and
and a
all
food
of
they call
that.
combo here. So you just combine all of these things and eat together.
You
Only if
combine
your
them.
tummy is good for it.
Anyways, Tony, this is how far we can
Oh, wow,
go. This is
really?
how far we're going
South
to
Sudan,
take
so
this.
far.
Yes, we are done with South Sudan. Finally, we are done with this country.
South Sudan,
Anyways,
finally.
thank you for doing this.
I want to
with
visit
me.
this country. I knew you know asking, but I will go.
Yeah, no problem. You can go. I'm not saying I'm going with you. That's your own
South
issue.
Sudan,
So you
here I
can have it. Yeah, you can go.
come.
I wish you all the best, safe journey, and then till
And I'll come back with a
if you want
tall
to
girl
stay,
tomorrow.
all the best. Thank you, viewers, for doing this with us. Of course, we're always excited to bring you more countries and tell you about them. I hope you had fun with us today. See you next time. Have a blessed day. Bye.